Hey YouTube, it's me, K91. I'm back with another video. Just got through watching Sony's E3. I gotta say, overall, it was a pretty underwhelming experience, but overall, they did top Microsoft in my opinion. So let's start off. They started off by showing montage videos and telling everybody to put their glasses on, for the 3D effect. So everybody, pretty much in the audience, threw them glasses on, watched the whole E3 press conference from Sony. So everybody's watching, and after they get done with the montage, they go on to talk about the games. Well, not the games, but they apologized for PSN. It was very brief. A lot of people said Kevin Butler was going to come out, and we were all wrong in those predictions. We were all wrong. You guys know it. They probably saw it, and they probably told him not to come out. He'll probably come out next year, more than likely, though. So, they showed off Uncharted 3 after they finished apologizing to the public of what happened with the PS3's downage for online. And I gotta say, it looks decent. I'm not the biggest Uncharted fan, but I will buy this series. I already got part 1, and I gotta say, it was a plot twist near the end. I will buy Uncharted 2 later. It's on its greatest hits. It's about $30. I'll pick it up near Christmas time of next year when Uncharted 3 drops. I'm just not that type of person that's just going to jump up and buy a game for like $60 unless if I really, really like it. But I think Uncharted is a really good, exclusive for the PlayStation 3. And it's actually one of the best shooters that I actually like to play besides motion control shooters, Resident Evil, and Metal Gear Solid. Those are my favorite. Uncharted is one of them. So, they went on through the press conference and they mentioned Resistance 3. Resistance 3, alien shooter. What's new? We already, those first two titles, we already knew about them. We knew about these titles. They talked about it last year, and they should have saved Uncharted 3 at the end. And at the same time, we got all these 3s and 4s. Why can't they just space them out a little bit? It's too much. They could have just waited. You know what I'm saying? Waiting is better. It gets people hype. It's unexpected. And stop releasing details on your new exclusives. But anyways, rambling along, they showed off the Move. Kobe Bryant came out. What is up with all of these celebrities? He comes out and talks about NBA 2K12 like we actually needed some info on that. We don't need info on 2K12. You know what I'm saying? That's a sports game. Sport games shouldn't be, demo on stage. That's like saying if you get a football game, 2012 NFL, and demo that on stage. It's not a big deal. But they demoed it with the Move, but I didn't see any shooting like this. It was basically a point and click to pass. Some little touching gimmicks, just to show that they're using it with it. And then they also said that Resistance 3 will come packaged. I forgot to say that. It will come packaged with the Move. I think they said with the Move. Yeah, it'll be played with the Move, but they also announced a new TV that will implement the 3D functionality. So it'll come with the glasses, the Move, the gun, the controller. I don't think it's the controller, but the game. So you get all of that for $4.99. I was like, okay, I'm not buying that. 3D is still in its baby stages. In the future, we shouldn't need the glasses. You know what I'm saying? It should be popping out at us. I realize the future for it is. You guys think the future is now. No. For 3D, no. It's still in its baby stages. Right now, this will look pretty stupid when you go in the future. Alright? Nobody will be wearing those 3D glasses no more. Okay? So, they showed out this little sorcery game, but it wasn't sorcery. It was something different, It was kind of something for kids or something. But I'm like, okay, you're appealing to the casuals. See, they didn't waste too much time on that, and that's what I like. You need to appeal to the casuals. You need to make sure that your audience is still there. There's nothing wrong with showing little casual games, but if you come on a set showing Sesame Street, then we have another problem. So they didn't waste too much time on that. And they also talked about, it wasn't too much on the move. They only announced like a couple of games, which was Resistance, that little sorcery game, and what else? What was another game they announced? Oh yeah, NBA 2K12 or something like that. And then they went on to talk about Starhawk. I think that's what the name of the game is. It's an FPS. Again, I don't care about the FPS genre, but I can understand maybe to big fans of FPS games, they may like that. It's an exclusive for the PlayStation 3. Why not showcase it? You know what I'm saying? So they showed off a trailer for that. What else? They showed off a new game called Dust, and that's their new exclusive. See, another new IP. They said that it will be a FPS mixed with a MMO, and I thought that would be pretty cool to have, an MMO / FPS game. But I only saw the FPS part of it in the trailer. They didn't show the MMO. I don't know if I was right. I think they said it was /FPS / MMO. I'm not sure, So they still have to sell me on that because it looks like a FPS game, and if it is, I'm staying away, If it's not an Uncharted, if it's not Resident Evil, if it's not Metal Gear, if it's not with motion control on the Wii, or if I own the Move, if I own the Move myself, if it's not on the Move, I'm not buying it. Simple as that. Motion controls are easier with the shooting games. It's more accurate, it's more direct. And then, aside from that, they showed BioShock Infinite, and they said they're going to have exclusive content only on the PlayStation, showing that, it's going to be on there. They said that BioShock 1 is going to be on the disc. You get what I'm saying? This is exclusivity. Even though it's a multiplayer, they're not claiming it as exclusive, just like Microsoft showcasing Modern Warfare 3 as an exclusive when it actually isn't. And all of those packages that you get, with Microsoft is going to be somewhere down the line going to PlayStation 3. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get the same exact thing. Doesn't matter, Anyways, where was I? Yeah, they showed BioShock Infinite, and I know I'm gonna miss a couple of titles, you guys. Don't worry about it. They showed off a couple of other multiplayer games that were gonna have exclusive content as far as like stuff that you can actually play and all that stuff on the PlayStation 3, only on the PlayStation 3. No signed contract that, okay, it's gonna be on the PlayStation 3 first, but somewhere down the line it's gonna go to Xbox or the Wii or something like. No. It's going to be only on PlayStation 3, okay? That's it. And after they talked about all of that stuff, that's when they finally announced the PlayStation Vita. It was the NGP, now its real name is Vita, and I really don't like when Sony don't keep things under wraps. Keep it a tight lip, don't tell nobody. So they showed off the PlayStation Vita, and they talked about what I liked about most. They said you can see who's online, voice chat, 3G functionality, which I would never really care for because I don't want to pay for online, and the Wi-Fi capabilities. Now that's cool. You can use the chat and talk to your friends online, see what they're doing in the palm of your hands. Now that's awesome. Was something that Nintendo needs to be doing on their freaking handheld right now, because I can't message anybody, I can't talk to nobody, the communication is just dead right now. As of right now, communication is dead for the 3DS, but they have the games, alright? Still waiting on that update. So they talked about the PS Vita, and I don't like that name, so it's the PSV. They showcased of Uncharted. Look, I forget what the name it is, but it looked like Uncharted 1, a lot like Uncharted 1, and the graphics are beautiful. But it's Uncharted. It looks like the PlayStation 3, and I have that game on the PlayStation 3. I have this game. I have Uncharted on the PlayStation. So I was all like, okay. And then they showed Little Big Planet. I'm like, okay, Little Big Planet. I just downloaded that game for free on the PlayStation, and it looks exactly the same. And they just got through coming out with Little Big Planet 2. This is not Mario. You can't do that. You can't keep milking the franchise that quick every year, because if it's not different, then it's no difference in between each other. Then they showed off this game called Ruin, which is a new IP for the new PlayStation Vita. And it looked like a little dungeon crawler, but they made it seem like it was an MMO, and all they was doing just swinging at folks the whole time. You know, but whatever, it's a new IP, and they said that you can transfer, or they call it transferring almost, because Konami came up with that word, and you can put it on your PlayStation so that you can transport your game from the PlayStation Vita to the PlayStation 3. But it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having that game being bought on that handheld, you know, and just transferring it to your PlayStation 3. It makes no sense. It's just going to be a game with rendered qualities that was probably priced under $10 lower than a PlayStation 3's. It's going to be really bad, you know. And they showed off a whole slew of montage videos showing what's going to be in for the future. And they ended off the whole press conference by saying that the system would be $250 and $300 for the 3G functionality. Now that's a really good job, Sony. You did not price it very high. You at least learned your lesson there. But, you know, all in all, it was a better but yet underwhelming press conference compared. I mean, it was better than Microsoft, but it's underwhelming. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel fresh. It doesn't feel like a breath of fresh air. My bad. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like something that I've played before, you know, and I have a PlayStation 3, so they haven't showed me anything new. And they also had My Nation Racers on the PSP, you know, the PS Vita. It's just nothing new. It's just PlayStation 3 in the palm of your hands. You can say that about the 3DS, but it has 3D. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It is different, okay? You know, augmented reality with 3D, alright? That's why it sets the bar from the console version, because it has that 3D. You get what I'm saying? The console version doesn't have the 3D. The handheld version does have the 3D. So there'll be some things that you can see differently or play differently on your handheld rather than the console version. And with that said, I think that Sony beat Microsoft, and tomorrow we're still waiting on Nintendo. And I think they just need to pull everything together, because I'm really feeling bad this E3, because we've seen way too many shooters. It's just no difference. It's just bland. It just feels so bland, man. It's very underwhelming, and it just feels so bland, this conference, man. Like, this could be the downfall right here, you know. I need that breath of fresh air. But at least, as long as Sony did have that variety there, they also did announce Slide 4. We already knew that. They had that variety. But once they talked about the PS Vita, it was not a breath of fresh air. It just all seemed too bland. And if they just would have kept most of these titles that they already had on the wraps, you know, like Uncharted 3, Slide 4, and everything, this would have been a beast console. I mean, not console, but conference. You know, we would have been crazy. And with that said, Ken91 out. Expect more next video on Nintendo.